Imagine walking through ancient times, sitting down to a meal shared by Jesus Christ himself. Have you ever wondered what kind of foods Jesus ate during his life on earth? The meals of the time tell us so much about culture, tradition, and daily life in the era of Jesus. Understanding these foods brings us closer to the stories in the Bible and offers a unique insight into history. Jesus lived in a time and place where food was mostly grown locally, so the diet was heavily dependent on seasonal crops and natural resources. Bread was a staple of the diet, and it wasn't just any bread. It was often made from barley, especially by the poor, as wheat was more expensive. Bread played a crucial role in many of the meals Jesus partook in, including the Last Supper, where it symbolized his body. Eating bread was so central to the diet that it was often referred to simply as food. In fact, the breaking of bread was not only an act of eating, but a significant religious and communal act. Along with bread, Jesus would have eaten a variety of fruits and vegetables that were available in the region. Figs, dates, and olives were some of the most common fruits consumed during that time. These fruits were either eaten fresh or dried, providing essential nutrients and energy. Olives, in particular, were important not only as food but also for producing olive oil, which was a valuable commodity. The olive tree was deeply symbolic in Judean culture, representing peace and prosperity, and its oil was used in cooking, religious rituals, and even for anointing. Fish was another significant part of the diet, especially for those living near the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus spent a significant portion of his ministry. Fish was readily available, and Jesus' disciples, many of whom were fishermen, often caught it fresh. Fish is also notably mentioned in the Bible during events such as the feeding of the 5,000, where Jesus multiplied a few fish to feed a crowd. Salted fish was common, allowing people to preserve it for longer periods, making it a crucial part of the diet in areas far from the coast. Meat, on the other hand, was not consumed as frequently as bread or fish. It was expensive and often reserved for special occasions or religious festivals. Jesus likely ate lamb during the Passover, which is symbolic in the Jewish tradition. Lamb was commonly sacrificed and eaten during this important religious festival, and Jesus would have partaken in this meal as part of his religious observance. The lamb's importance was more than just a meal. It was a representation of the covenant between God and his people, which ties into Jesus' own role as the sacrificial lamb for humanity. In addition to fish and meat, Jesus also likely consumed dairy products, such as cheese and yogurt. These were staples in the diet, providing essential protein and fat, especially in a time when meat was scarce. Shepherds who roamed the countryside with their flocks of sheep and goats often made cheese, which was easily transported and stored. The milk from these animals was also consumed in moderation, although it had to be used quickly before it spoiled, given the lack of refrigeration in ancient times. Lentils and other legumes were also part of the regular diet in Jesus' time. These provided a crucial source of protein, especially for those who could not afford meat. Lentils, beans, and peas were cooked into stews and soups, making hearty meals that were filling and nutritious. These legumes were often mixed with spices and herbs like cumin, coriander, and mint, which were commonly used in the region to add flavor to otherwise simple dishes. The preparation of these meals was often communal, with families gathering to cook and share their food. This not only made the most of available ingredients, but also fostered social bonds and traditions around the meal table. Wine was another essential element of the diet in Judea during Jesus' time. It was not just a beverage, it was deeply embedded in the cultural and religious practices. Water could often be unsafe to drink, so wine was the safer option, often mixed with water to dilute its strength. Wine was part of the Passover meal, and it played a significant role in the Last Supper, where Jesus used it to represent his blood. Wine also featured in the first miracle Jesus performed, turning water into wine at the wedding in Cana, highlighting its importance in social and religious gatherings. Honey was the primary sweetener in Jesus' time, and it was considered a luxury. In ancient Judea, wild honey was highly prized, and it is referenced numerous times in the Bible, symbolizing abundance and prosperity. John the Baptist, for instance, is described as eating locusts and wild honey, reflecting the value placed on this sweet treat. The scarcity of sugar made honey a sought-after commodity, often used in religious offerings and as a trading good. Given its importance, Jesus would have likely enjoyed honey on special occasions or when it was available, incorporating it into his diet and rituals. Its significance in daily life and commerce highlights its role as a cherished resource in the ancient world. Spices and herbs added flavor to the food and were a critical part of the diet. While spices were not as readily available as they are today's, common herbs like mint, dill, and cumin were often used in cooking. These not only enhanced the taste of meals, but also had medicinal purposes such as aiding digestion and soothing ailments. Jesus would have eaten food seasoned with these herbs, which were also integral to various religious rituals and traditions. The emphasis on simplicity and natural ingredients marked the meals of that time, reflecting a deep connection to the land and its offerings. Herbs were cherished for their ability to bring out the natural flavors of the ingredients and contribute to a balanced and healthful diet. Jesus' diet would have also included nuts, such as almonds and pistachios, which grew in the region. These were often eaten as snacks or used in various dishes to provide additional energy and nutrients. Nuts were highly nutritious and provided essential fats and proteins. Like fruits and vegetables, they were a valuable resource, often included in trade and used to sustain people through long journeys in the harsh climate of the region. The foods that Jesus ate were deeply symbolic and tied to the culture, traditions, and religious practices of his time. The simplicity of his diet reflects the humility and spirituality of his life. Each meal held more than just nutritional value. It was a reflection of the religious and communal life in Judea. Whether sharing bread with his disciples or partaking in the Passover meal, food was a central part of how Jesus connected with people and conveyed deeper spiritual truths. If you've enjoyed learning about the foods Jesus Christ likely ate, be sure to like, share, and comment with your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with more fascinating insights and content. Your support helps us continue bringing valuable videos like this one.